Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 6 of the Club Penguin Podcast. I am King Boo 8884 here with this week's news, opinions, and everything else from Club Penguin. We don't have a lot in the news this week as far as major events. Before we do get to that, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Disney and what they need to do advertising-wise and marketing-wise for Club Penguin Island, and also why Club Penguin has gone downhill in the last 3 years, and really what prompted them to do Club Penguin Island. Before we get to that, though, we're going to get to the news of the week. Again, not much coming this week. However, ninjas are going to be on Club Penguin Island, according to Meg. She didn't give much detail, but she said yes, they will be eventually on there. In the future, they will be on there. Don't know how long. We didn't get that. We don't know how they're going to incorporate them. Who knows? Hopefully, it's kind of what we have now. We have all the Cardjutsus and all that, but we'll see, because Cardjutsu is a major factor of Club Penguin, so I would imagine it's going to be another major factor in Club Penguin Island. EPF is also going to be on Club Penguin Island. She said, quote, one day it will be on there, Meg said. So hopefully it will be on there soon, kind of like the Ninja thing. But I kind of like this as a gradual release of new things on there. So it's not like all at once and everything. It makes sense. Again, nothing more on that. Hopefully, again, maybe we get more incorporation of the EPF than we had on Club Penguin. We'll see. The last bit of news is the Geography Beta has moved to Canada. Club Penguin has now allowed all Canadians that run iOS only. That's an interesting quirk to this. You have to have iOS. The other two geos you can do Android or iOS. But if you're running your iOS device in Canada, you live there, you can geo beta Club Penguin Island right now. No word on how long this is going to be. However, in her post, she did say we are getting closer to Club Penguin Island worldwide release. And many have asked, will the United States be getting it next? I would say no, because I believe we're going to get the worldwide release instead, because we're the biggest audience and we'll most likely get it last. Makes sense. They want to test smaller areas first before they come to the United States or do a worldwide release, because when you release to the United States, it's a major release. It's almost pretty much worldwide itself. So going to be interesting to see that. But that's the news this week. Again, nothing much. So that's why we have a big opinion in Twitter Q&A session today. So before we get started, I also want to mention that everything is going smoothly with as far as the website goes, tkcpcheats.com. We're going to have the new website look, theme, whatever, up very soon. Again, expected in a week or so. I would say 2 weeks, more likely. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be introducing something that hopefully other blogs will will acquire as well. It's this more simple, simplistic theme that can work on mobile and can work on here. Really, we're just reaching into the mobile audience, as Club Penguin Island is going to be coming out very, very soon. Now, let's get to the opinions of this week. Now, it is quite interesting. A lot of people have been wondering what Disney is going to do as far as marketing-wise. And I've wondered myself, and I've been saying on Twitter and everything that they have to market this game correctly for it to be successful. And there's a few ways I see the marketing this game. Let me give you a stat first off. Just released just today, fresh off the press, mobile gaming generated 37% of the total global gaming market. Okay, so the market was $99 billion, the gaming market this year, and they made a total of 37% of that $99 billion. Okay, that's a huge amount. Mobile gaming is huge. And not only that, in 2019, so 2 years from now, expected to be at $52 billion. It's supposed to take mobile gaming. It's supposed to take out of gaming. the gaming industry. So mobile gaming is the way to go. That is why we're moving to mobile gaming, or one of the multitude of reasons. But that is the number one reason. People are going to mobile gaming. People want their devices now. Computers are slowly starting to die off because when you have things in your hand, you don't need a computer as much to do that. And kids don't use computers like they used to now. It's iPads, it's iPhones, it's iPods, it's everything like that. And I really think that stat proves that we're moving that slowly in that direction. Maybe we could be moving faster in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but there's a reason why Disney and Club Penguin decided to put out this mobile game. Now, the marketing for this game, and I've been saying it's easy to market this new game. It is going to be extremely easy. They just actually have to do it. That's the problem. Is they have to actually go on Disney Channel. They actually have to go on Nickelodeon. You actually have to go on these channels and pay for the advertisements. That's the only challenge. But it's easy to do it because you have, first off, you have so many ways. You can advertise on the App Store now. You can advertise on YouTube. You can advertise on websites. You can advertise on your own channel. You can advertise at your own Disneyland, Disney World, all the other places around the world. There's so many ways to advertise. You can advertise on Twitter with the promotions. You can advertise on Facebook. You can advertise everywhere nowadays. So much easier than it used to be. And even more easier now is you have a good, solid product to advertise. Because when you introduce something brand new and you reinvent something, that is what makes it easier to advertise than what you currently have. Because you're reinventing the product. It's not a new product. A new product is harder to advertise because people don't know it. Millions of people know what Club Penguin is, okay? Adults, children, they know what Club Penguin is. But when you're reinventing it, that's what I mean. It makes it easier because people already know what it is. And you're basically saying, oh, this is brand new thing, grand opening. You can do something like that. And you can use big, bold words to really push the unique rhetoric behind Club Penguin Island. And another thing is, when you're pushing that unique rhetoric, by unique rhetoric I mean like brand new or reinvented or something like that, something along those lines, where it's not this is new or like this is something new product. You don't want to say that because it's not really a new product. It's a redone product. It's even better than the original product. And you could also market it as it's been 11 years, we've been doing this, blah, blah, blah. And it's really easy to do that. But the problem is with Disney is if they're actually going to do it. In the last 3 years, they have not been marketing Club Penguin at all, mainly because it can't. It's hard to market something that isn't doing well and that is outdated when you know places like Animal Jam and Another Virtual World are actually doing better. Now, where I think Club Penguin Island is less marketable is when you get into places like Disney Channel. Because yes, there's a lot of kids there, but we're trying to reach out to the people that aren't on there. Because we're getting to that mobile world. And I think that's where it shouldn't be marketed. But this is where I think Disney could make the mistake. If they market it on Disney Channel 24/7, you put in 5 ads every 5 hours or an ad every hour or whatever, you're marketing to what you used to market to, which was the people that go on desktop, the people that don't really go on mobile as much. You want to go to YouTube. You want to go to Twitter, Facebook. You want to go to these online sources where you can market it, where the kids are going to be, so you can get the word out on it. And I think Disney should invest in the marketing. Just absolutely hammer us with advertisements. I want to see this thing advertised beyond belief. And that's going to be the biggest problem. Is it going to be advertised on belief? I'm telling you right now, if it's not advertised, even just a little bit, if it's advertised, it's not going to do well. You need to advertise it. I'm going to give you an example. Disney Mix. You don't advertise it, you just release it. Horrible release, horrible app for one. I mean, that's the main reason why it didn't do well. But also marketing. You didn't market it, so obviously it's not going to do well. I don't know why they released it. I'm still still don't understand it. It was probably one of the dumbest things Disney's done in a long time, and they've done some pretty dumb stuff. But my thing is, if you don't market this game, then you're going to be in big trouble. They're just going to be in massive trouble, because then no one knows about it. If no one knows about it, what's the point of doing it? So I do expect them to do it, but how much are they going to do it? Where are they going to do it? If you're just going to do it on Disney Channel, then what's the point of redoing this whole thing? Because you're reaching out to the same people, the same children you were before. Maybe you'll get a little more this time. Go to YouTube. That is my main thing is YouTube. Everyone's on YouTube, it seems like. YouTube is YouTube. It's so many people are on it, and not only that, but you can run 15-second ads, and people have to watch the 15-second ads, even some of the 30-second ads. But pay high dollar for it. Do it. Do the ones on the side, or do the actual advertisements videos. But also upload on YouTube. They have not been uploading on YouTube lately, and it's really irritating, because that is where a lot of the audience ads came from. There's this stat website that says a majority of their social media comes from YouTube, over 50% of it, and the other, like 25%, comes from Twitter. So go to YouTube, advertise on there. I mean, that is where they should be. Not only that, but just upload YouTube videos. You don't just have to advertise on there. Upload YouTube videos, get it out there. You have a lot of subscribers, you have a lot of followers on Twitter. Get it out there. If you do not get it out there, the game will not succeed. And I'll feel free and advertise it on my website. Go ahead, and allow me. But it's just going to be irritating if that doesn't happen. Now, many of these are probably asking, do you think it's going to happen? I think it's going to happen, and here's a reason why. They've closed out all their gaming industry. They are done with the gaming industry except for Club Penguin. That's their last standing project. That's their last standing gaming outsource. So, and I knew it when they got rid of the Disney Infinity. When they got rid of that, it told me that you're committed to this game. They're wanting to make a major release, get it out there, have kids play it. They're confident in it, in the product, and I'm 100% certain that they will be able to market it. I'm 100% certain they will market it just because of that. Now, how much they will market it, I'm honestly don't think they're going to market it as much as I want them to, but I think they're marketed enough to get a lot of players playing on day number 1 when it launches, whenever that is. So Disney, a lot of work to do. I think they can do it, but there's a lot of work to do marketing-wise for Club Penguin Island. But it's just a matter of shelling out the money at this point. So the next opinion topic we have leads into Club Penguin Island and why Club Penguin went downhill, and really why they went downhill so fast. And my main thing has always been that the reason why is because they're not innovating. They didn't innovate when the mobile gaming industry was just coming along. When you saw places like Angry Birds or Clash of Clans or Cut the Rope or Candy Crush, those types of games, when those were getting popular in 2012, 13, 14, 15, really in those ranges. But when you see that and you don't jump on board, you're going to lose out. You're going to lose a lot of viewers. You're going to lose a lot of players. Yes, they did come out with an app in 2013. No, it was not that good. The reason why, it was not the Club Penguin we'd play on desktop. If it was the Club Penguin we'd play on desktop with the servers and everything, it was the same exact thing, then it would have been okay. It would have been fine. I would be using it. More people would be using it. But it's not the same. It's a completely different virtual world. So they've kind of they boxed themselves in that way of losing players, because you can't go on mobile and just play the same exact game. Yes, 11 million people downloaded the mobile game, mobile app, and probably more now, because they haven't updated that quote in a long time. But really, the main thing is, it went downhill because they didn't keep up. When you don't keep up, when you have a lot of glitches for like the Friends app or the little membership logo on the top corner, or when the chat filter doesn't work very well, it doesn't work out, and their fault for it not working out, in my opinion. I think Disney should have been on them a lot earlier, pushing it to get out. And quite frankly, I'm disappointed that Disney didn't go, hey, we need to hurry up, we need to come out with this, we need to come out with this, we need to do this, we need to appeal to this new audience, to this new network. And I don't believe they did it. And I think they kind of just sat back a little bit, and they eventually realized, okay, let's create something totally brand new, totally different. The question is it late? I don't know if it's late. We're going to see. Hopefully some statistics come out on how many people downloaded, how many blah, 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 blah. That's the interesting stuff. That's when you know how long this game is going to go. But it went downhill because it didn't innovate. Another reason why it didn't go downhill, and I really think it was Spike Hike. I think he really held back the social media portion, and he once he yanked it from them, I believe it was him, partially him and Disney. I believe when he yanked that back from Megan, from and Ninja and Polo Field at the time, Business Moves and all them, when you yank it from them and they can't go on social media like they used to, and you can't interact with us like you used to, it just draws players away. I mean, when people have questions, they don't answer it. It's stuff like that would draw people away. And quite frankly, again, it's another disappointment. And I think Disney's the no fun zone type company sometimes when they really should. It's Disney, they shouldn't be, right? And they act like they are, but they really are when you think about it. Club Penguin is totally out there when they say they're no fun type company. They restrict people, they restrict the social media, they do all this, and it's terrible. It's terrible for the game, and I've been saying it for years. You can't do that, especially nowadays. You have to keep up with what we have, and with the technology we have. Don't go back. Don't not do that. Use it. It's there. Twitter's there. Facebook's there. YouTube's there. Even Instagram they have, even though I think that's a terrible platform for this game. And I would never do that. But still, you have all these social media places to go, and they're not even using it like they should be. And it's so disappointing, and I just can't even believe it. But those are the two main reasons. Social media, the lack of it, and no innovating. I mean, that's a huge aspect of it. And of course, there's other little aspects of it, like I said, the little bugs as well, or when you're not giving deals on your memberships, when they're too expensive, when non-members don't get enough. It's little stuff like that. And the parties, too. I mean, it all adds up over time, but those are two big reasons why. And I really do believe if we get that fix with Club Penguin Island, we'll be good. We'll be good. Alright. Enough of my opinions for now. We're going to go back. We're going to go to the story of the week. Story of the week is Why Hot Sauce by Blue21102. I'll put the link in the description below. But really, the article is about hot sauce on Club Penguin Island and why it's used, his predictions of why it's used, and he goes back to Operation Hot Sauce and why it powers the island, really. It's a great read. I recommend everyone read it. He's one of my favorite because he tells it like a story. And that is great if you dedicate yourself to doing that. I couldn't, but it's great. He has a great blog, and it's really a great story to read. I recommend everyone read it. Open my eyes more to what the little details of Club Penguin Island really mean. So, let's get into our Twitter Q&A. It's been absent the last 2 weeks, but really because we've had bigger discussions the last 2 weeks. So, this week, I asked you guys to ask questions. We have 4 questions this week. Mr. Duda said, there are rumors that TP's Flash version is dying out. What are your comments on that? Yeah, it's dying out. Flash is dying out in general. Google Chrome won't carry it anymore. I believe Firefox won't carry it anymore. I believe Internet Explorer won't either. So it's dying out. It's done. No one uses it anymore except for Club Penguin. Really, that's the only. I think that's the only big company that I can think of off the top of my head that still uses Flash. It's gone. It's done. We don't use it anymore. So it's dead. 100%. I agree. And once Club Penguin Island comes out, they're shutting down Club Penguin Flash version. 100%. Desktop Club Penguin version is going to be done. They're going to redirect it to clubpenguinisland.com. 100%. Know that they will not have Club Penguin or the regular right now Club Penguin anymore. The next one is by Lestroid CP. What do you hope for in the future of Club Penguin Island? I hope for weather features. I hope for the EPF to be good, this time. I hope for events, special events. I also hope for more interaction with the team on Club Penguin Island, or really in general. And I hope that they have improved the chat filter and all that. So there's a lot, but really, I'm just really hoping for the weather thing. I think it's a huge thing. Our next question comes from Mad Zombie. He asks, do you plan on uploading more than your podcast to your YouTube channel? When Club Penguin Island releases, for example, uploading gameplay? Yes, definitely. If the gameplay allows me to do screen recordings, I have to find the right one. But for sure, I do plan on doing that a lot more. Hopefully, when it comes out and everything works. And the last question is from Quester CPI Help. It said, do you think blogging as a whole for Club Penguin Island will become easier or tougher than it was with Club Penguin? Yeah, good question. Very, 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 very good question. I think it's gonna become tougher. But the number one reason was because you have to take a screenshot, and then you have to screenshot all of them, take all the screenshots. You have to take them all, and then send them to yourself on your computer or laptop, and then upload it on there before you could. And not only that, but you might have to crop out stuff or whatever. It doesn't look as nice, in my opinion. At least when I'm on, I can screenshot certain portions. With a phone or in a device, you could just screenshot the entire thing. So that is difficult, but yeah, it will become tougher to blog. I will say that. How much tougher? I don't think it's gonna be that much tougher, but I think it will be tougher for sure. I think tougher for other people. I think it's gonna be good for the smaller blogs, particularly. I think they will be able to get a little boost during this time. Really excited for that. If you want to know, my preferred device for Club Penguin Island will be an iPad, so I will be using an iPad for not my phone to get bigger gameplay, obviously. But yeah, so it will become tougher, but not too much tougher. I do think, though, certain people are going to find ways to do certain things, and then people will catch on. You'll see what I mean when it comes out. I think people will develop some interesting and unique strategies, I guess you could say, with taking screenshots, graphics, and all that. And the final segment is the takeaway from the week. My takeaway from the week is Disney needs to step it up with Club Penguin Island. If they don't step it up, there will not be a Club Penguin Island for much longer. Thank you, everyone, for listening this week. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. For now, goodbye.